Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. We are joined by a very talented and special musician and a composer, and someone who really connects us with the consciousness of music. In fact, we have the music of our soul. We're talking all about that with Ray Sibley. Ray, hello and welcome to Quantum Conversations.
Hello, Loren, and hello to all of our friends and Soul Song family worldwide. It's wonderful to be with you today.
This is going to be a wonderful conversation as we talk about soul consciousness and the music of our soul. In fact, you help people hear their music as you make music, soul music, for clients around the world. So let's start first with you, because this turns to a healing aspect. Your personal story about getting involved as a musician, and then the work in understanding soul consciousness and the music of our soul.
Yes. Well, my story began in the late 60s. I was part of a group of musicians from Wisconsin, and we all left our rock and roll bands to form an original band. But there was something special about these men. We all wanted to take our lives deeper, and we all wanted to discover something that was, well, let's say beyond our brains and beyond the rock and roll music of the day. We wanted something special, and so we started hanging out together and jamming together from sunset until sunrise every day for 2 years. And all we did was play our music. And of course it was a jam session at that time. You know, we hadn't written any songs. And so what happened was we started intuitively learning to hear and listen to where the other person's music was going. And pretty soon we were as one mind, one thought. And if one of the musicians was going to change key, we knew it, we felt it in our being, exactly where he was going with that chord change. And so we would change with them. And that all developed into a very intuitive gift that has evolved over the years for me, from those early days with the band called Hope, from East Sophia, Wisconsin, to then 30 years later into a healing arts recording studio in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where I recorded my very first soul song. And that was a beautiful experience for me. It seemed the more I was in contact with people and feeling their energies, I started hearing music coming from them. Of course, now, you know, in 2017 and 2018, you know, everybody's talking about life as energy, as vibration, as frequency, as sound. And so, you know, in 1999, you know, this was rather new. And so when Anna came downstairs into the studio, I had her put on headphones and connected her with the 8 keyboards that I was playing in the round and to a recording machine. And I asked her to sit down, and we went into meditation. And from her energies and from her inspiration, I began to play the keyboards. And 25 minutes later, on this soul journey, I said, Anna, I just recorded your soul song. And she was in tears, and she was happy, and she was just so moved by what she heard. And so that was the great beginning of 860 soul songs that have taken place since that early day in 1999.
Fascinating how that all came together using your intuitive listening. That is really the oneness that you were able to experience when you were mentioning that and how you could feel where the other person's music was going. That is like a flock of birds all moving as a group, as a collective, or a fish in the ocean, or any of the animal kingdom. Really the oneness that they are. I just want to say Anna is Anna Ma. We've had her on Quantum Conversations. She's in our archives, and her story is quite fascinating. Truly a deep awakening through choosing a life of adversity, I'd say. Her story is quite remarkable, and now she assists others as a spiritual teacher, leaving the matrix, the old 3D matrix. Wonderful that you were able to sit with Anna, and from her energies, the inspiration came, and you played her soul song. That is so beautiful. We're going to hear a song. First, before we get there, share with us then. You are simply sitting at your keyboards, so you make everything, the chords, the notes, the melodies, even the instruments change. So all the instruments are coming from your keyboards.
Yes, along with a couple Native American flutes and actually doing toning as well. The process is to connect with each beautiful soul in soul consciousness at the soul level. And that's the preliminary that we do before the actual recording starts. When I connect with you as a soul, your soul inspires me. Your soul guides me for each note, for each melody, for each song that I'm inspired to play. It's not my soul playing, it is yours. And that connection that happens before we start recording is so important. And I just finished a soul song a couple of days ago for a beautiful soul who's now living in Italy. She's a personality expert and a life coach. Her name is Diana Dentinger. And perhaps I could read to you a couple lines from her comments before we actually play one of the songs, because it's her introduction that we're going to hear today.
Her
Yeah,
sample.
yes, her
Yes.
sample. It's actually a 7.5-minute sample of a full 32-minute soul song. So,
Wow.
yeah. So if I tell you what she said, then you can kind of, as you listen, get an idea of where the soul song is going to take you. And rather than my words, let me just say what she said.
Yes.
She said, "They say a picture paints 1,000 words. So what about a song? I had the amazing experience to get my soul song done by Ray, and it is so hard to put into words the beauty and intensity of listening to me in song form. I am a personality expert and intuitive scientist, and I know myself very well in all dimensions. How he captured every facet of who I am in the core and beyond is something that goes beyond my ability to express in words. And the intricacy of the layers of instruments, I listen to it and dance to it as my morning ritual at least 5 times a day. It heightens my concentration and focus. Since having my soul song, my body has detoxed, and I feel drawn to an even purer diet, as well as I have an inner peace that I've never experienced before. I am so grateful to Ray for being the channel for my soul song. Everyone needs to treat themselves to this. It changes your life. We are only energy, sound, and light. His work brings pure sound into you so you remember your greatness, and can shine beyond what you felt possible. Thank you, Ray.
Well, that is a beautiful description of how she experienced her own soul song. And it's as if you really captured the personality. So now it's time to listen to the sample so that we can really feel into the energy of Diana. So here we go. I was captivated there. That totally moved me into such a feeling of peace and love. I could really hear, I wrote some words down there, really feeling confidence and grace and vision and inspiration, hope, joy, and peace. And then the shifting of the music as it changed, that moved me to tears. Really dynamic there, Ray. This is the sound of music of the soul. Wow. Even though that is a soul song of Diana, that music is healing for everybody. And so I'm inclined to ask you, with 860 soul songs,
Yeah.
certainly if it's their soul that you've captured through their frequency and translated into music, it's still a beautiful collection that, could get out to the world.
Well, you know, I do share music that is very similar to soul songs when I create CDs, but there's really nothing quite like that person's soul song.
Yeah.
And, you know, I thank Diana for sharing it. Of course, when the person listens to it, they have their own MP3 and WAV music files, so they can put on their headphones and really feel the intricacy of the soul song as it moves, you know, through the headphones into their body. And it's transformative in that respect.
Yes.
And as Diana mentioned, it inspires her to dance, to detox her body, to be more healthy. And in that way alone, we're changing the world. If you can help people change all of the habits from the body and the brain to get into soul consciousness and begin to live their life as the soul, you can move mountains.
Yes, because you connected with her, you were able to feel the energy of her soul consciousness that you translated. So let's talk a little bit about what do you do as you create this music? One, of course, you make that connection. Are you sitting in meditation? Is it over the phone first or Skype and then how long does it take for you to make that soul song?
It's usually a 4 or 5 day process for me. It's usually 25 to 30 to 35 hours in the studio. And it's all preliminary. I meditate every day. I practice Kriya Yoga, and so my day begins in meditation. And when I have an order for a soul song, they usually order from my website. I email back and confirm a time that we can be in meditation, primarily within the same 24-hour period at some point. And, you know, I spend a couple hours in ceremony, saging, playing the flutes, lighting incense and candles, and just going deep in meditation, and then creating the sacred circle where I call their soul. And we commune, and that's where I receive the inspiration from them to begin the soul song. From there, it's going into the studio, and when I feel that inspiration, I begin, and they guide me through every note, through every melody and every song until it's finished. And that's usually about 25 or 30 hours later of being in the studio 3 or 4 days.
Yes, that is a lot of work. It's not easy to compose music like that and record the music like that. And I love it's just this deep connection to the soul. It is someone's personal composition, and
Yes.
that is magical. Even listening to Diana's soul song, I could feel, again, all the words that I wrote, the grace, the vision, the inspiration, the hope, the joy. And so to be able to think of that for your soul, to be able to feel the music of your soul in that way is a deeper connection to soul consciousness. Now, many would call that embodiment. I think we're talking the same thing, soul consciousness and embodiment of the soul. Can you define soul consciousness?
Well, soul consciousness is when we're aligned in our awareness with the essence of our being. That's when we enter soul consciousness. Soul consciousness it's a constant state of transcendence, and that goes beyond the limits of the body and the brain. It goes to a place of inner knowing that we call intuition. It's an absolute knowing, and it's through our connection to our source that we have it in the first place. And the beauty of soul consciousness is the discovery of who we are and what we are at our deepest core level, that we are indeed not the body, we are not the brain. Those are finite material things that are someday not going to be here anymore. They're going to pass on. They're going to return to the earth. But the soul and the soul consciousness is infinite. It's from eternity. Its source is eternity. And so it lives on. And there's much power there. There's much intuitive gifts that are created from soul consciousness. My goodness, when people discover their artistic ability, their ability as a painter or a writer or a speaker, this comes from that intuitive part of them that the body and brain cannot touch. The body and brain are more concerned about the five sense organs, about seeing and feeling and touching and smelling and tasting, but the soul is involved in the knowing, in the intuitiveness of knowing. And we can all get there. The intuitiveness and reaching soul consciousness is for everybody. It's a process of remembering, of realizing, and reactivating our soul and allowing our soul, the true self, to take charge of our life. For me, that happened through meditation, by going deep, by allowing the body to relax and the brain to slow down, to allow the breath to take over and to become slower, the heart to slow down. And through that process of using mantra and chanting, focusing, I was able to reach a different consciousness than what you're able to reach through the body and the brain. And that's how, personally, I arrived at soul consciousness. And so now that's what I teach, that everybody can reach their soul consciousness through this process of remembering. Because what happens, after about 20 minutes, your thoughts start slowing down. You're no longer distracted by the constant chatter of our brain. I mean, we take our brains and our bodies along with us for the ride, but we're the soul is in charge of the body and brain, not vice versa. And that's the problem. 75% of the people on earth are still sleeping. They're still living from their body and their brain because it's all they've been taught since infancy. All they have learned is what they've been taught. You are what you eat. You are what you think. Well, that's not true. You are the soul. You are the Atma. You are the internal and infinite part of Source. And it's a beautiful thing that the Eastern philosophies talk about the soul as eternal, as the Atman, the true self. It's an infinite unit of consciousness that is emanated from the Source. So you look at Source as the microcosm or as a macrocosm, and you look at the soul as the microcosm, but still carries the same essence of the Source. And what is the Source? The Source is omnipotent, omniscient, all-knowing, and omnipresent, everywhere present at once. And when you realize that we as the microcosm can have these same qualities and abilities, then we can start living a whole new life, a majestic life that is powerful. In the Western texts, it's also interesting to note that, you know, when you read the account of Genesis, it's not the same as reading the Eastern text, but it comes out at the same conclusion. It talks about the Spirit of God that moved across the great depths, and then God created the earth and the sun and the moon and so on. And then God took the earth elements and formed a body and a brain, and then the miracle happened. The text says in Genesis 2, God breathed into the form, and man became a living soul. The very essence of God breathing into the form. And so now we can realize that we are the soul. We are this infinite essence of God. And we're covered with a body and a brain, but we are not the body and the brain. And there's a big difference. This is the key.
That is the key. And that is where the shift in our world will get spiritual. It must get spiritual, or at least this recognition of this consciousness that we are a living infinite soul. We are the infinite essence of God, as you put it there. Well, I'm relieved to hear you say that there's 25% of the planet that are awakened.
Yes.
So that's good. I know those listening, we're all on a mission to assist in that great awakening. Would you say that more and more are awakening?
Absolutely. Every soul, every light worker out there that realizes that they are the soul are already helping the planet to evolve.
Yes. And your music that I heard in that sample is New Earth. It's also, it felt almost as if I could hear past lives coming in. Are you able to see that infinite soul, past lives of the soul as you're composing this music?
Oh, sometimes that's absolutely true. The soul song is their story, is their journey, and oftentimes it shows up in different modes of music as past life. The warrior may be strong with drums and with different instruments representing, you know, the sagas of the soul and what the past life experiences of the souls have been. And that's important to some degree, but I'm more concerned and hoping that the music that comes through is the beauty and the present moment, that souls can take charge of their life and live each moment in the present moment, as that present moment will guide them into the future and will help them evolve on this planet, will help them discover their gifts, and in turn will help the whole world evolve and discover their gifts. And we are waking up to that. You know, maybe 25% is a low number today. Maybe it's 30% today. I mean, when I read the beautiful accounts on Facebook of all my friends and soul family that are evolving and speaking beautiful words of truth and sharing their lives, and not just for human beings, they're being aware of life at all levels for the plants and especially now for the animals. So there is a new consciousness evolving.
I wish I could play that song. There's a new Mother Nature taking over.
Right on. Right
Right
on.
on. Okay. Well, it's beautiful because this is such great music. I'd love to play another snippet of a soul song of another person just because being in this music is just so fascinating. Before we get there, though, I want to ask you about, you mentioned the warrior, so that could come out. I mean, with 860 soul songs, my goodness, what has been some of the most surprising music that has come out of you when you've been recording?
Sometimes I'm really amazed when I'm guided to pick up the Native American flute because it never registered with me that this person had those kind of roots. When you're talking to them on the phone or when they're emailing you, you just don't know where it's going until you meet them in soul consciousness at the soul level. And sometimes I might be playing a beautiful melody, but all of a sudden the soul will guide and say, pick up the Native American flute and play with this to the drum beat of this, take this to the heart chakra, play all the melodies on the heart chakra, and so we're going in this whole new direction. I just have to keep open. You know, that's my job.
Yeah, you listen.
Yes.
I think that's very cool. You are a pioneer in this. I'm not aware of anyone else doing this.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Um, it is important to me. I've been doing this now for close to 20 years, and I hope with the next 20 years I can do exactly the same and even take it farther and just help people evolve and to experience the music of their own soul. People are just, I mean, people cry and they get excited and they dance and they tell me, I never realized I was so beautiful inside. And that's what you are. You are totally, absolutely the most beautiful, beautiful source of love and the essence of being there could possibly be. And if I can help you see that through the music of your soul, then I've done good. I've done my job.
Absolutely. What a beautiful mission you are fulfilling. And this is based on your own passion and your own connection within, your own intuitiveness, right? We know that music is so powerful. I love that you were in a band and you wanted something more. You wanted to go deeper because you could feel the power of the music. And so to connect that with the soul and soul consciousness, I get goosebumps just talking about that. When we were listening to Diana's song and how it shifted, it moved me to tears, and that's not even my soul song. So for us to realize we are beautiful, and the songs that you create from that soul consciousness level are so beautiful and representative of that individual person. So it's interesting when you hear back from folks. I know we heard from Diana. Are they just amazed that you captured some of the experiences? Like you were told from the guides, from your inner intuitiveness, to pick up the Native American flute. That would help people remember that aspect of themselves. Have they reflected on that with you?
Oh, yes. I've probably have 15 or 20 comments on my Soul Song webpage. Let me read to you part of another one that might shed some light on your question.
Yes.
Dear Ray, my heart is full of gratitude for the wonderful gift of my soul song. Upon my first opportunity to listen to it, I found that I did not ever want it to end. Once I completed the first time I started it and listened to it through a second time, there is so much joy in the music, so much love. It is warming to my heart and brought a beautiful smile to my face as I lay silently and immersed myself in the musical journey. I appreciate you taking the time to provide me with insight into what you explored and discovered when connecting with my soul. Reading your wisdom in itself was an enlightening experience. What she's talking about, I do a synopsis and summary in writing for you regarding your soul song. And she says at the end, it is now a daily activity for me to listen to my soul song. Sometimes I really believe that my soul song morphs and emphasizes what I need to hear at that time. Different aspects and tones are highlighted to me as I need to resonate with them. My soul song always connects me with my heart center and allows me to easily glide home to a place where love and light are always full.
Yes, that right there says it all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the music that takes that person there, and that is a job well done. Beautiful, 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 Ray. Well, with that, we're going to play another sample of a soul song. Let's take a listen. We can see the beauty of the soul, even if that is another person's soul song. We all still felt the heart-centered glide home to infinite love. Ray, you are so talented. We are so thankful that you really are able to connect in this way and to birth music this way. And I want to take a moment now and share about your soul song for our listeners.
Okay. It's the first item on my special offer, and it's a $100 gift toward having your beautiful soul song recorded. And, that will be something that you can use toward the total price. I try to keep my prices very reasonable to start with. I don't charge $40 an hour, which is my normal studio time fee. I do soul songs as my ministry and as my service to the world. And so if I can help you, you'll have a $100 gift that you can apply toward your soul song. I'll have a special page on the website that you'll receive a link to where you can sign up for that part of your special offer.
Beautiful. Okay, great. So the special offer you've got for our listeners today is more of the teachings that you do and other music as well that we can enjoy. So let's talk a little bit about that. You've got the gift towards the personal soul song, which again, that's basically having a professional compose music exactly for you. A gift certificate towards that. That's great. And then you've got some other items in that package as well.
Yes, those are my new MP3s, and what they are, they're guided meditation experientials. The second item of the special offer is called the 7 Affirmations of Sacred Love, and what they are the affirming of who you are as the soul self, as the infinite soul self, the Atman, and what your gifts are, who you're connected to, as to connected to your source. And I take you through each affirmation 3 times, and then we just continue on with a 30-minute meditation. Now, what I believe is important about that is I'm including a 41-page PDF so you can actually understand each word. Each word is described of the affirmations. So if it says, I am sacred love in the divine creator, I'm going to describe each word and the action of those words. So you have a complete understanding. By the time you get through reading, when you go into the affirmations, you'll be able to say those and feel those in your soul.
Beautiful.
And then the next item number 3, is a guided meditation called Soul Consciousness in Creating the Sacred Circle. And within that meditation, we're going to get comfortable, we're going to relax, and I'm going to help you breathe till we can go into that space of soul consciousness. And once there, we're going to highlight creating the sacred circle. And it's the same sacred circle that I create when I meet your soul to do your soul song. In this experiential, we're going to create the sacred circle, and we're going to move it from our mind and our heart center. We're going to move it out to the edge of the universe, and we can do that through soul consciousness. And we're just going to sit in the sacred circle together in the stillness of that time. And then all the while we'll have music that is tuned to 432 hertz, which is the perfect harmony and balanced frequency of the universe, playing in the background for you to help you relax and to get into that soul consciousness. And then the fourth item, it's called Soul Consciousness and the 4 Spiritual Truths. This is one I finished most recently, and it has to do with what the Christ said to his disciples. They asked the Christ, how shall we relate to God? And he looked at them and he said, love God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. And I want to take this universal truth that the Christ gave us and do a complete meditation and take you to soul consciousness to understand the spiritual truth that this loving Christ gave us. And then the fifth item is an album that I recorded many years ago called In the Name of Hope. It was my first Healing Arts CD, and it contains 3 tracks, 3 long tracks. There's a 25-minute track called Starlight, and those are the energies of my own soul that I recorded in 1999. The second track is called Sundance, and that is the soul song of the Lakota Sundance chief called Standing Elk, who was given a new spiritual name on the night that I recorded his soul song. He is now called Golden Eagle, and he is very well known as Sundance chief of the Lakota tribe. The third track of that is called The Guardians, and it's a song of the beloved spirit beings that care for our planet. And then item 6, it's another gift of $100 toward a personal soul session with me. Along with the soul song, if you want to take your life to another level and understand the depths of your soul song and of yourself as a soul, understanding your gifts, and we'll just go as deep as we can for an hour or two, and I'll use some of my abilities as a transpersonal hypnotherapist just to take you deeper into a relaxed state where we can start asking and answering those questions. Who am I? What am I really? Where am I going? What is this life all about? So you have a gift toward a personal soul session. And then item number 7, I'm going to do a live group soul session on February 10th, where you can ask questions about the soul, and I can give you answers in a live session. We'll do a guided meditation into soul consciousness. So that should be a really fun time.
Beautiful. All right. That special offer is available. So for the future, if folks find this in our archives, do you do the live sessions regularly?
I'm going to record this one, and so you'll have the live session recorded for you.
Excellent. Beautiful. Okay. Such incredible work that you do here. What I'd like to do is, it would be beautiful to play a little sample from the Guardians in the Name of Hope album. We'll take a listen to that. beautiful music there, feeling the guardians that look after our planet. Anything you'd like to add there on that beautiful song we just heard?
Just to know that we are so loved. I mean, when you realize who it is we're connected to the beloved source of all, of the universe. And that source has individualized into many soul consciousness. And there are guardians and angels and those who care for us. And if we understand everything at the soul conscious level, we'll be in a perfect place of knowing, a perfect place of love. And we will discover our own divinity through that.
That is the name of the game. That is perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, again, you had mentioned the meditations that you take folks on to soul consciousness. Is it possible to do, in our last few closing minutes, is it possible to lead us in a quick connection to get a sample of that space that you lead us into of soul consciousness?
Sure. Okay, everybody. Thank you for being with us. Thank you that you are the beautiful, wonderful soul that you are, and that we can connect in such an intimate way. I'd like you to close your eyes and just relax back. Sit comfortably in your chair or lie down on a bed, put a pillow underneath your head. Take a nice deep breath, drawing the breath in from your base chakra, and exhale. Allow the breath to flow up through the chakras, from the base chakra, through the sacral, through the solar, through the heart chakra, through the throat chakra, into the third eye, and into the crown. So as we take another deep breath, just draw the breath up slowly, inhaling, holding the breath a moment, and exhaling. And now allow your thoughts to calm. Allow any distractions in the thought processes or the room just to calm down. Remember, as the soul, you are in charge. You are the one that can help your mind and your body understand. Let's take another deep breath in and exhale. And now in this very relaxed state, I'd like for you to open your third eye by toning the Om with me. Are you ready? Here we go. Om. And again. Now as your mind and your body begin to feel lighter Allow your thoughts to go deeper and deeper and deeper, all the way to the core of your being, all the way to that beautiful place of intuitiveness, of knowing, where you can say and mean it, I am the soul. I am the Atman, the true self. And within this true self, I am sacred love. I am light. I am true consciousness. I am true divinity in my soul. And now take a moment to breathe in the life force from your source. And know that you are infinite, that you are eternal, that your life has meaning and purpose and fulfillment in each breath, in each present moment. Breathe in the breath of eternity and breathe out your breath of eternity. Namaste.
Namaste. Beautiful connection, a beautiful remembrance. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Ray Sibley. We are going to leave it there because that is a beautiful space that indeed has shifted our planet. All who are listening are in alignment. So with that, Ray, I want to just have a moment with you to say goodbye. Thanks so much for being here.
Oh, thank you, Lauren. You are a beautiful soul.
I see your soul too, Ray. Thank you. Give our love to Anna. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this quantum conversation.
Blessings to all of our soul family, our Soul Song family and friends. Many, many blessings.
And now it's time to dance our way to the cosmic heart. And what better way than to listen to Soul Songs, Human Soul Consciousness Connection. Here's music by Ray Sibley, all of which is included in the special offer. Thank you for listening, and thank you for dancing with us in our collective intentions as they go across the universe to the cosmic heart. I'd like to thank my wonderful team at acoustichealth.com, Heidi, Tony, Tom, Pam, Suzanne, and Garner, who assist with the production of Quantum Conversations, online healing retreats, and more. And thank you, too, for listening. If you've enjoyed this program, please share it with your friends and loved ones. And we thank you for shining your magnificent light and adding it to the world. This is when we love ourselves like no one else can. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste. Thank you too for listening and sharing in this space today. We leave you now with music from the universe, literally sacred geometry of music, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com.